But what I'm going to say about Jimmy is, as great as Jimmy is, the playoff Jimmy thing has put Jimmy Butler in a conversation with guys that maybe are a little bit above Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy, I know you don't pay much attention to what's out there, but just so you can know, everybody's expecting this massive thing, this reputation of playoff Jimmy.
If that time comes where, you're people that are saying whatever, supposed to score 40 or 43, whatever the case may be, I'm capable of it. I can do it.
Well, we're waiting.
Jimmy Butler gets the boos every time he touches the ball.
He's had trouble finishing.
Butler left open, misses a three. Beal Pajemski, Butler Green, and Jackson Davis.
Supposed to score 40 or 43, whatever the case may be. I'm capable of it. I can do it.
For him to say that, I thought, is that Jimmy trolling or is that Jimmy serious,
When it comes to the NBA playoffs, this is what fans, players, coaches look forward to all season long. As in the postseason, it's where legacies are made, careers are cemented, and as fans really get to see which players are built for the moments and which guys aren't.
George, way off. It's the side of the backboard.
Harden, one-on-one with Brogdon, pulls up, jumper, well short. With two, with one, Embiid's going to have to put it up for the tie. Oh, he missed it.
You stink.
Now, looking at the flip side, if you are a playoff guy, a playoff riser, one good finals run, one all-time great series can make you a made man to the majority of NBA fans. And looking at someone like Jimmy Butler, that's kind of been the case, as of course in 2020 as well as 2023, had iconic finals runs with big-time performances in crucial spots.
Butler one-on-one with Markieff Morris. Butler drives, falling away, got it again! Over the top to Butler, up and in!
This is what he wants. Inside for the lead. He got it. That's what he wants. Grant Williams on him.
He was special.
Butler having those big-time games, big performances, and of course big shots is why he got the nickname of Playoff Jimmy. Now, of course, that version of Butler was spectacular, a great player, a top 10 playoff guy. The version of Butler we have now is not even close to that. As Butler for the past 2 years, he tends to coast the entire season, fade in big games, and become very, very passive in crucial moments.
Draymond just 2 points. Good pass underneath. Butler missed the layup. He's missed a few of those right at the rim. Behind the back, timer at 5. Butler driving, spinning, stopping, falling away. Front rimmed it. Now on the switch, you got Randall on Butler. Butler driving on him and throws it over the head of Draymond Green out of bounds earlier. Butler around the screen. Drives, goes at Gobert. Missed another layup.
Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough!
Butler in this year's postseason for the Warriors was anything but Playoff Jimmy. And the one guy who saw this coming was indeed Pat Riley. As a refresher guy's memory, Riley before the season started refused to give Butler an extension that he desperately wanted. And of course Butler the entire year, pouting, whining, sitting out games, and quite frankly, tanking his team and tanking his stock. What Butler did in South Beach to get out of there was downright disgraceful. And Pat Riley not playing ball with him, not caving in, that's what makes Pat Riley a great GM and a great basketball mind. As looking through NBA history, when it comes to aging superstar players, franchise cornerstones, one thing you don't do is pay them based off past success. What you pay them for is how good they are right now and how good they'll be in the future. Butler being in his mid-late 30s, what you don't do is pay that guy a max contract and tie yourself down for the next 2.5 years on a terrible deal. Now, the team who took that swing, made that choice, was the Golden State Warriors. And why Golden State did that was really out of sheer desperation to get Steph somebody, anybody who get a bucket on their own. Now, looking at the second round, Game 1, Minnesota versus Golden State, of course, Steph in the first half goes down, hamstring injury. He's done for the entire series.
Oh no! We suck again!
At that point for Warriors fans, the Warriors coaching staff, what you need from Butler is 25-30 points every single game to even be competitive. And unfortunately for Warriors fans, that version of Jimmy no longer exists. As in this series, he found that out very, very quickly. As besides Game 3 where he had 33 points, Butler the entire series was basically a glorified role player with playoff prestige. And even looking at Game 3, the way Butler closed this game cost Golden State in the biggest ways. Jimmy in the fourth quarter was an abysmal 1 of 7 shooting. In the final 8 minutes, he went scoreless.
Want to be a little more specific?
There's good and there's not good. This is not good.
Butler at this point in his career is a very solid number 2 option with tendencies of a number 3 option. And him being asked to score 30 points every single game, heck, even 20-25 points every single game, that's not happening with Jimmy Butler at age 36. And one thing I do want to touch on is Jimmy's overall mentality. Back in 2020-2023, Butler versus the Lakers, the Bucks, especially the Celtics, he was hyper-aggressive attacking, just a killer and alpha on the court you could trust in the biggest moments. This guy the past 2 years, especially versus Minnesota, was kind of the, I'm too cool version of Jimmy. I'm not going to take over, score 40, even if my team needs it.
And I'm playing the same way. My guys is open, I'm passing it. I don't care what nobody says. And I'm going to live and die with us as a unit, us as a whole. I don't have a burden or expectation. I don't. I play basketball the right way. I will continue to play basketball the right way.
3 days later.
And the Timberwolves are going to advance to their second consecutive conference finals.
Butler having that mentality this series, it ultimately cost them. What they needed was playoff Jimmy. What they got was role player Jimmy. As looking at games 4 and game 5, I'm not going to say he quit, it's a little bit too harsh, but both of those 2 games combined only took 20 shots.
It's outrageous, egregious, preposterous.
Now look, let's make one thing very clear. Butler in Golden State for the majority of his time so far has been a success, as being paired with Steph Curry, what Steph needed was just someone else. So look, I'll give Butler some credit. He stepped up for the regular season, was a pretty solid number 2, but in this year's postseason, just dropped the ball big time. As looking at the final 9 quarters of this series, Butler in total, 36 points, 10-27 shooting, 1 of 6 from deep, with a minus 58. I'm not saying Golden State should have won this series, nobody expected that, but if you're Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy, what we expect is more than that.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
If you want to talk overall impact of one player on a roster, Steph Curry for the Warriors, it rivals Nikola Jokic. Take Steph out of this team, they can't even function. Take Jokic off Denver, really the exact same thing. And in regards to playoff Jimmy, why you give Butler a pass for certain things, certain antics, is because he's playoff Jimmy. And even looking at 4 years ago, 2022 missed 25 games, the following year 18, last year 22, and this year 27. Jimmy at this point as a player, health-wise, is rapidly declining. And if he's no longer playoff Jimmy, what is he really?
No idea.
The worst part about Butler aging, he still has the ego and mentality of a number 1 option who should get paid like that. But his game reliability, his outside shooting, is that of a 3rd option on a really good team. At this point in Jimmy's career, the thought of Jimmy is better than he actually is in reality. And looking at that contract, it's going to age pretty poorly. This year, Jimmy, the 11th highest salary in the league. Next year, top 10, and the year after that will be 12th. Ask yourself the question, is Butler at 36, 37 years old a top 8-12 player in the NBA who's making max dollars?
I don't think so.
At this point for the Warriors' future, there's not a lot of bright spots. Butler's 35, Steph's 36, and Draymond's 34. That's your big 3-year nucleus, all in their mid to late 30s. If you're counting on that big 3 right there in their mid 30s to lead you to a championship, it's simply not happening. Doesn't matter how great Steph is, how great Jimmy is, or how great Draymond is. Old championship teams, old big 3s, don't win titles. So that right there is the end of the video, and I'll say one last thing. Out of the entire Jimmy fiasco, him winning out of South Beach, the guy who looks the best in this is Pat Riley. As now looking at his Heat's roster, they're not an old team, and they have some talent. In Golden State, their depth is super questionable, and their big 3 is ancient. If you're a Warriors fan, your future is pretty bleak. If you're a Heat fan, your future at least has some hope and some bright spots. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.